UK here. How you doing? Hope you guys are staying safe. I just thought I'd do a quick video about the differences between a 125 and your first big bike. The obvious thing that people say is faster. That's the only difference. It's just faster. Um, no, there's quite a bit more to that actually. Of course, it's faster, but that's not the main differences really. I mean, that's just the obvious one. Um, the first thing is the general weight of the machine. Maneuvering it around and slow maneuvering, there's a massive difference. For example, obviously, if you get your little bike out of the garage or off your driveway, you can grab it and drag it around quite easily. It's no problem. On a big bike, with a big bike, it's quite a heft to pull it around. So if you're a little weakly guy, um, yeah, well, you can imagine. And also, if you feel like you're going to drop your bike and it reaches a certain lean angle where you are going to drop it, don't save it. Don't even try and save it. Just let it go. Just where big bikes generally have crash bars and crash bungs and things like that. Crash is not necessarily the word crash as such, it's more drop. On a little bike, if you feel like you're going to drop it, you just catch it, it's not a big deal. But on a big bike, if you try and save it, it'll do some damage. It'll hurt you more than it will the bike. Hurt your back, it'll pull your arm out, drop on you, possibly break a leg, break a foot. It's not worth it. Just let it go, and it is what it is. And don't be embarrassed. You're not the first guy to drop the bike. Everybody does it. I don't care how experienced you are. Everyone's dropped the bike. Slow manoeuvring as well, like for U-turns, things like that. You can go reasonably slow on a smaller bike. It doesn't really make much difference. On a big bike, the slower you go, the heavier the bike is, and more difficult it is to turn. That's why you have to sort of relearn your throttle and your clutch control a bit more when you're coming into sharpish bends. You generally need a bit more power. Smooth in, smooth out, or slowish in, and then as soon as you can see the bend opening up, keep some power, because you'll just drop your bike otherwise. Obviously the speed. I'll do the speed one because obviously it's not really obvious, but it is, if you know what I mean. I'll give you an example. On a slipway onto a dual carriageway, if I was on my little bike, which I have been obviously, you can guarantee some arsehole won't let you in, and the fucker won't move over. And you can't accelerate the car, so you just got to slow down and wait till the car passes, and then accelerate again, and it puts you in a dangerous position. Whereas on a bigger bike, you can just go straight down the slipway. If there's a car directly opposite you, so what? Just give it the beans, mate. You have the power. And a bike will out accelerate any car. I don't care if you've got a Porsche, Ferrari. I don't give a fuck how fast your car is. Well, except you're a Veyron or something. But a super high HP car, like I don't know, Nissan GTR or I don't know, Porsche or something, whatever. A decent motorbike will have to accelerate any car, any day of the week. And sometimes when you're on a big bike, you forget to use the power. And that seems a bit weird, but you do, because you're not used to riding a small bike with shit with no power. When it's time to use the power, like when it's important to use it, it's like sort of, get your shit, you forget it's there. Other day I was on my big bike and I was exactly the same circumstance at a slip road, pulling onto a carriageway, and a car parallel to me, and I slowed down like a penis because I don't know, it was just instinct. I thought, just let him go and I'll slow down and pull in like I used to do. You know what I mean? But like, duh. So what is at the side of me? Just fucking open it up, give it the beans, mate, and you'd be straight in front, gone. and car be long gone behind you. You know, things like that. Also, I've learnt now, to come outside of me, who gives a shit? Just give it the beans, mate, and fucking get in front of him. Because there's no way you can catch you. No way. Even if you've got an Audi R8 and he slams his foot to the floor, you're still going to have to accelerate him easily. Right, there's that, obviously. Braking as well. Have I done engine braking? No, I've not done engine braking. Sorry, I lost my train of thought then. The engine braking as well, which is quite significant. The engine brake in alone is just as good as putting the brakes on, the real brakes, with my YBR. It's mad, it's weird. It's like, also you're doing like 6 mile an hour YBR, if you're lucky enough for it to go that fast. My piece of shit did 55, and you really slam on the brakes. It still takes a while, but eventually you stop. Excuse me. On a bigger bike, if you lay off the throttle, it's just as good as putting brakes on. You can instantly feel it pulling back, like you're putting the brakes on. And normally brakes aren't binding and things like that, because you get that with little bikes. If you left the throttle, if they get that massive braking difference just with throttle release, generally your brakes are stuck on or binding or whatever. But no, they're perfectly fine on a big bike, because I thought they were binding on. I thought that's not normal. They're a bit dodgy, then they're binding on, so I checked them, they were fine. But no, absolutely fine. It's just how it is. You let off the throttle, immediate slow down. It's like for when you're coming up to a bend, on a smaller bike, you'll left the throttle, possibly knock down a gear, brake, tip in. On a big bike, not really necessary. All you do is lay off the throttle, maybe a slight dab of brake if you're really going really hot. But generally, no, it's fine. Just lay off the throttle and you'll slow down enough for a bend. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Obviously, braking distance is massively good as well, or different. On a smaller bike, like say doing 60 miles an hour, if you're lucky enough, you slam the brakes on, not a deal happens really. You'll slow down, of course, and possibly lock up wheels and whatever, but no, not really. You need like fucking half a mile or so to fucking slow down. On a big bike, no, it's fine. From about 70 miles an hour, you can come to a complete standstill in virtually no room at all. Obviously, you need some room. I mean, I'm not saying braking you like that far away from a fucking car. That's ridiculous. You get my point. It's a lot shorter, especially with ABS, which I'm lucky enough to have on mine. And I know. If you're triggering the ABS, you're braking too hard anyway, and you need to have good braking control, braking memory, muscle memory, whatever. That's important too. I'm just saying. Yep. The brakes are brilliant on a big bike. Obviously, because the bikes go faster, brakes are much better. You can instantly tell the difference with brakes. Whereas on a smaller bike, you'll be braking way earlier. On a big bike, it's not really a priority, really. You can sort of brake when you get there, because you know you've got the power to stop. That's it, really. Main things to learn, really, or relearn, is just the heaviness of the bike and the throttle and clutch control are a little different. Other than that, just crack on with it, mate. You get used to it like any bike. Just be more careful, obviously, because you know what I mean. Human nature. You come from, especially if you're a young lad, you go from a small bike to a big bike. You're going to ride like a twat. Absolutely, it's too tempting. I'm like nearly 50, and I'm tempted to ride like a twat at times. But I have to remind myself I've got a family and stuff, and I'm not a young man, and I like to slow down. Oh, sorry, here's a little one on my thing I forgot. Sometimes if you've used to ride a small bike and then you got a big bike, you catch yourself riding it like a small bike. You know what I mean? You're not using the power, you're not using the brakes, you're giving yourself way too much margin for error, way too much for everything. And on a big bike, it's just not necessary. and you forget it goes fast. You forget brakes are good. You forget a lot of things. It's weird. It does take a bit of getting used to. But after about a month and a half, if you ride every day, you quickly get used to that. It's not a problem really. That's it. Short and sweet. I hope I didn't waffle on too much and it actually made any fucking sense. Because I'm a old cunt and I keep forgetting stuff and repeating myself like I've just actually done. Anyway, you get my point. Have fun, ride safe, and stay safe. Adios. Peace. Subscribe, like, and all that business. See you later.